what's up guys, this is Alex and today we're going to be playing Genshin Impact and we are going back inside the Pro Abyss and this time we're going to be tackling floor number 8. So floor number 8, Leyline Disorder, when HP is less than 60%, attack is increased by 50% and death is increased by 50% as well. When HP is less than 45%, normal attack speed is increased by 30% and then when HP is less than 45% as well, movement speed is increased by 30%. When HP is less than 30%, crit rate is increased by 20% and your crit damage is also increased by 40%. So basically what this floor is telling you is that the lower your HP, the better you'll perform. Now I personally kind of find this funny for Leyline Disorders. It is what it is, so I mean, if you are not in a hurry and think that you can do it, you don't have to go down below. But if you are kind of struggling to reach the timers, for example, going to slightly lower hit points rates on your characters, not as comfortable as it's going to be for sure, but it might help you actually increase your performance and do better on this floor. So for the rewards of floor number 8, you can look at these pretty sweet rewards. It's pretty standard stuff, but it is still pretty useful stuff. So 60,000 Mora, 21 of these books, 30 of these books, 15 of these crystals for weapons, and then one of each artifact cache of different rarities. Obviously we want the 5-star one, it's the most valuable one. And you're also gonna get up to 300 promo gems and 60,000 more here if you can actually reach 9-star. Obviously early on in the game, getting 9-star on these floors is going to be a bit tricky, so you might have to come back at a later time, such as we're doing right now. So for the chambers, in order to prepare your teams accordingly, the first chamber, the first half you're going to be fighting Hydro and Cryo mages, so obviously you want to bring some fire and some electro probably for this, also possibly some ice. Second half is you're going to want water mostly. The rest won't matter as much. Maybe electro could also be useful. Chamber 2 doesn't really matter, to be honest, so just bring whatever comp makes sense. And then the last chamber, your first half will need definitely to have some fire, and your second half definitely is going to benefit from having a water. So I have a pretty good idea what I want to bring in there, so let's get to it. So this is the team we're going to bring. Those are mostly our main 2 characters over here, and then these 2 fillers, and then we're going to have a Xiangling, Barbara, and Mona to deal with any fire characters especially, and also Kachin can also tackle some of these. Now for the first card on floor 8, you're going to want definitely the character physical damage. This was only going to affect this first chamber, so you definitely do not want that, and I don't think you'll require def all that much, especially considering the Leyline Disorder. Now obviously, as I've already mentioned in previous floors, we are much stronger than we should be to be in this area, so obviously we're going to have a little bit of an easier time, but the purpose is really to talk about the team comps and what to deal with like specific type of enemies. Obviously this first chambers is only 2 enemies and they are Abyss mages, so it's all about elemental shields, which can be a little bit annoying. I actually just should have swapped my ice character a bit sooner, but I forgot. So this first floor is actually pretty easy, assuming you have the proper elements. Obviously, if you don't have the same characters as me, just try to bring at least the elements that will counter these shields. And obviously, you don't need specifically 5-star characters and stuff like this. Just with proper teams, you're going to be able to do really good against these type of enemies. So you might need to be careful when you cast this little Inferno. It's like a challenge spell that he starts, and it does quite do a bit of damage, so be careful of it. Now, second floor, again, do not use this chamber card. In our case, we're going to go with the physical damage. If you're struggling a bit more with hit points, you could always increase your maximum hit point. It could definitely help you add a bit of survivability in here. Requirements, milestone, thresholds, but in our case, we won't really need them. So do try to take down any ads first. The Rune Guard is quite more dodgeable for the long term. Also, this place you might need to be careful whenever you see that they have this frost aura around them because of the frost effect, the frost orb over here. You might need to actually apply fire on these units to debuff them. So just be careful a bit about that. So he's going to be spinning, so we're going to get out of his way. Run, Bennett! So this is the last enemy. We're actually going to ult here just to save a little bit of time, although 360 seconds should be pretty easy. We are still going to try and burst him a little bit. He almost got hit. So always try to do it as fast as possible because your second team will use the same timer, so. In this case, whenever you see them getting buffed with fire, same thing as the other room, just apply some water and it will remove the buff, which will make this whole fight a lot easier to deal with. Now, as usual in big fights in general, you should always try to kill the weaker adds first, just to get them out of the way. And then whenever possible, just try to do some side DPS to the main target. Just keep applying the water effect whenever it gets buffed, because or else it's going to be a lot more trouble. This is a little bit unfortunate. Now for the last chamber, you can actually take a chamber card if you want to. Obviously, if at this point you feel you're pretty banged up and don't really want to risk the Leyline disorder with the low hit points, you can always use HP to restore yourself. I'm going to take character attack plus 20% personally. This is going to make it easier to reach these timers, especially since we need to complete this within 3 minutes. So I don't expect it to be to have a whole lot of enemies. So we'll see what. Oh yeah, this is the plants I forgot. So we need to break that little shield here, that little frost shield. There you go. That's the main thing you need to do, is really have your frost, your fire character destroy the frost shield, and for the power Regis Vine, well, it's going to be quite the opposite, just destroy the fire shield. So, and obviously, if you can't quite pull that, you will have a small problem because the plant will take a whole lot less damage. I could actually have saved my ult. I was hoping to hit the fire eye, which I guess I did, but not as much as I would have wanted to. Let's go. His face is too high. There you go. When you do your charge here with your Razor, if you have Razor for example, it's actually going to hit up there, so make sure to burst whenever he's down. try to pop as much as possible. In my case, I probably should have saved my ult with Bennett here, but I was a bit in a hurry, I guess. So now we're gonna fight the Power Ridges Vine. It's gonna be pretty important to burst that shield on his core, basically. And once he does, it's gonna be time to really burst as much as possible. Now this team is slightly weaker than my other team, so this fight will be a little bit harder. Now do try to hit the forehead as much as possible, just to really burst this little plant. Most of his attacks are kind of easy to dodge, but you do need to look out for them. The swirl like this is probably the easiest one to dodge, even though I got hit twice here. The head smash is a bit harder to dodge and also does a whole lot of damage, so you do need to be very careful. So you do need to look out for the core. Sometimes it's going to be a bit tricky to actually notice, but once the core is available, you do need to try your best to try and burst it, just to weaken the boss and really to do a bigger type of damage whenever during this small window. Now get back in the Abyss and go claim your rewards. Obviously, if you've already completed floor 8 before, you're not going to benefit from these rewards over here for completing the floor unless you're trying to do floor 9, 10, 11, 12, since these will reset every 2 weeks and you will be able to reacquire these rewards and also these Primo Gems and more. Alright guys, we hope that you found this little guide on floor number 8 of the Sprawl Abyss useful. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. You guys know that about 90% of the viewers that watch our videos are not subscribed to us? It's pretty interesting statistics, right? So, thanks again for watching guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care!